Not every person who hires you is the same. And I think one of the most useful distinctions you can make as a creative professional is understanding the difference between a client and a collaborator, because they require completely different things from you, and they produce, frankly, completely different results. A client wants a deliverable, right? They have a vision, or at least an idea of a vision, and they want you to execute it. They're buying a service. That's not a bad thing. We have tons of clients. A lot of great work gets made in that dynamic. But the relationship has a ceiling. You are essentially a skilled contractor. You come in, you do the work, you hand it over, maybe you apply some expertise, and you leave. A collaborator wants something totally different. They want to make something together. They come to the table with their expertise, and they genuinely respect that you're coming with yours. They're not trying to direct you. They're trying to think alongside you. The relationship has room to grow, and the work has room to become something neither of you would have made alone. I can give you a real example of what that looks like at its best. When we made Hotkey Rising, we were working with Magnolia Network and Discovery. I'll be honest, going into that, I didn't know exactly what to expect. Working with networks of that size, you can imagine there might be a lot of hands reaching into the creative process. Were they going to push me around? A lot of opinions, a lot of, can you make it more like this? That's not what happened at all. I was pleasantly surprised. What happened was generally one of the best creative experiences I've ever had in the project, honestly. They respected our process. They respected our expertise. They trusted us to do what we do, and in return, they brought their own expertise, the things they know about storytelling at that level, about their audience, about what works, and they applied it in a way that made the film better.
Just be human, man. We are all human. Thank you, guys.
It wasn't them overriding us. It was them adding to what we were already building. It was synergistic. Synergistic? I hate that word, but it was. It was balanced. That's what real collaboration feels like. And that experience taught me something I've carried into every project since. The best partnerships, the ones that produce the best work, happen when both parties are secure enough in their own expertise to trust the other person's. When the client isn't threatened by your creative voice and you're not defensive about their input, when there's genuine mutual respect on both sides of the table, that's when the magic happens. So how do you find these people, right? How do you know early on which kind of relationship you're in? It's a great question, Dave. Thank you. Let's answer it. Here are a few things to pay attention to. Number one, how do they talk about their previous creative partners? This is huge. If every vendor they've ever worked with was disappointing, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. But if they talk about past collaborators with warmth and respect, if they can tell you specifically what someone brought to a project, that's a really good sign. Do they ask about your process or just your price? A client who leads with budget is buying a service. A potential collaborator wants to know how you think, how you work, and what your approach is. Those are different conversations, and they tell you a lot about what the relationship is going to look like. Are they willing to be challenged? Bring a perspective that's slightly different from what they described and see how they respond. Not combative, just a different angle and a different idea. A collaborator gets curious. A client sometimes gets defensive. Do they have genuine expertise in their own domain? The best collaborators I've worked with have deep knowledge about their world. They're not trying to be the filmmaker. They're bringing something real from their side that creates the conditions for something genuinely good to happen. Here's the bottom line. You can build a career on clients. We do. We have. Plenty of people do. But the work that defines you, the stuff you're proudest of, those projects often come from collaborators. Collaboration is key. So know the difference. Seek out the collaborators, and when you find them, hold on to them. I hope you found this helpful. I know I did a lot of soul searching and reflection when I was writing this. If you did find it helpful, hit subscribe at the bottom, give us a follow. We always appreciate that. And look, reach out. Let me know, what kind of topics would you like us to tackle? We want to make sure that we are providing information that is helpful to you guys. So anyways, go out, create something cool. See you next time.